Gemini, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's get started and see what messages we have for your week ahead. Gemini, sun, moon, and rising. Keeping in mind that these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone. So make sure to check out your other placements because you could have messages there as well. Always good to check the three main placements, sun, moon, and rising. All right, my friends, let's get started here for Gemini. See what messages we have. What is the energy around Gemini for the week ahead? Energy around Gemini for the week ahead. Ooh. Oh, love that. You got your new life and chop wood. You're getting ready for something, truth be told. And keep in mind, my friends, that there is that full moon in Aries coming tomorrow, October the 9th. So that is really going to be pushing us to sort of find our groove back in our life, you know, like really life purpose, soul stuff, really trying to sort of feel out what direction we want to go next. It's like a new chapter. It almost feels like a clean slate. And I feel that here for you too. I'm seeing new life, truth be told, to the sea, chop wood, and loyal heart. So I feel like right now, Gemini, there is something that you need to be devoting yourself more to. I feel like there's something here that you love to do, something that you feel a lot of dedication and joy around, something that you feel like it is your life's purpose. It's almost like you feel drawn to do something, but you're resisting it. You're not going with the flow of your own intuition here. You're sort of feeling guided to do something, and you're saying, nah, I'm not going to do that. No way. That would be ridiculous. That wouldn't be logical. I almost feel like I can hear you saying that wouldn't be the smart choice. That's not logical. In any event, it will lead to a new path, and it is your truth. And I feel like you're sitting in it, realizing that as you're listening to this and sort of still shaking your head going, I couldn't possibly do that. It's like you're feeling the limits of your own beliefs as logic instead of really what they actually are, which is sort of a response to fear. You know, we place limits in our mind when we're afraid to be bold, when we're afraid to go after something. So we place a limit saying that's ridiculous, that's not logical, it's not possible, it's not going to lead to prosperity, it's not the right thing to do. We come up with a billion limits to sort of give justification to not living our dreams, to not being as big as our dreams, you know, to not take up space, to not go against status quo, to not go against convention and tradition, right? Sometimes for many of us, it's to not go against whatever downloads we've been given since we were children. And so, you know, like I'm sort of feeling that energy as well, that someone listening needs to do what they think is right, not what their parents told them was right, or their siblings, or their elders, you know, like it's time for you to choose what resonates for you. And I feel like there is something that really resonates for you, Gemini, and you're creating some limits for yourself right now because it's just too big of a leap, you think, you know what I mean? But it is a brand new opportunity, and it is your truth, and it's almost like this reading is guiding you to start preparing for it now. Let's see what the tarot cards are going to reveal for you, dear Gemini. Let's see. For Gemini, there's the Hierophant. I'm telling you, you are ready to go against you're ready to go against some conventions. I had a feeling the Hierophant was going to show up. I feel like you're ready to go against some outdated stuff. Some things that, you know, were given to you as instruction. And look at that. There's the High Priestess right next to the Hierophant, as if to say, what is the inner voice saying, and what is tradition and sort of convention saying, and which one are you going to listen to? Are you sort of gonna follow the status quo and go in terms of like the traditional route of life, whatever that may be? It'll be different for everybody. Or are you going to sort of follow that inner voice that might be telling you to reject this outdated system, that might be saying to you, this is not for us. This is great and it works for a lot of people, but for you, Gemini, you're needing to go your own way here. And I feel like you're at that crossroads. There's that Two of Wands in reverse. These two cards are flipping over together. We see the Two of Cups and the Fool, both in reverse. We'll take them. And on the bottom of the deck, of course, there's Justice in reverse. You're an air sign. You're going to start logic talk. For sure, you're already logically talking out loud, going, she's nuts. There's no way I could possibly follow my intuition. There's no way I could possibly go with what I feel is right, because what I feel is right is not going anywhere positive. Like, I feel like I can hear you saying that. So you're not willing to take a risk. You're at a crossroads here where you need to decide what to do. And the thing that's stopping you, it's almost like you can't. I think we're seeing the Two of Cups in reverse here because it's irreconcilable. You can't reconcile logic with your gut feeling. And I think that's why we're seeing the Hierophant and the High Priestess, the Two of Wands. You've got Justice here. This is all weighing out stuff. Like, you're weighing things out and you keep coming up saying, that's not logical. And yet I feel like the reading is guiding you to go for it. Logical or not logical, this could work. Whatever it is for you, Gemini, this could have an outcome that feels so good for you because it's coming from you. This is your truth. New life, truth be told, landing right here. I mean, I can't ignore that. That just really feels to me like there's a truth that's really important for you to realize behind whatever this is. And this loyal heart in reverse is saying to me, you need to dedicate yourself to this. You need to prepare for dedicating yourself, at least get into the preparation mode here. This is something that's going to change everything. You're going to have a new beginning. You're at the crossroads. You just need to make the choice. But emotionally, you can't reconcile what you want to do with logic. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing here. And it's very interesting because ultimately this is going to be your choice. Will you go with the flow that you're being guided to take, or are you going to keep resisting it? You might keep resisting it. I wonder what will happen to eventually remove this out of your control. Like, eventually I'm going to be reading for you, Gemini, and we're going to see a tower moment here where it's like, now it's not up to you anymore. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes when it's like this kind of divine redirection and we just keep ignoring it, saying no, 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 sometimes things shift so that we have no choice but to say yes. You know? It's interesting. Okay, let's clarify some of these cards. Got the Hierophant. And don't forget about that moon that's coming. That full moon in Aries is guiding us towards our life purpose. And I really feel like you are no exception. Very interesting that I said we might see a Tower card, because there's the Eight of Wands in reverse next to the Queen of Wands in reverse. This Eight of Wands here in reverse may as well be a Tower card, because when the Eight of Wands is in reverse, it's like you're not listening to this inner voice. You're rebelling against and being sort of angry at things the way they are, but you're not changing your action. You know, we're seeing the Queen of Wands on the Hierophant, which tells me that your will, your divine masculine energy is it's just like in complete revolt against this outdated system that you're living under. Whatever you're doing right now, it just doesn't serve you. And the very strong will part of you is like against it. It doesn't want you to continue doing what you're doing. It wants you to prepare to do something different. And we're seeing the Eight of Wands on the High Priestess because it's like you're getting this huge signal from your higher self to pursue something and to devote yourself to something, and you're refusing to. And so it's like you're not listening to this fast moving energy of the Eight of Wands. And I feel like sometimes that is just a Tower moment waiting to happen. And I just glanced on the bottom of the deck, and I have to show you, it's the Magician in reverse. So you're sort of spoiling your own vibe right now by resisting this. You're being guided to surrender to this. You're being guided to go with the flow. And look what's behind that, blessed. And then followed by go the distance and regeneration. I mean, you can't make this up. And there's TikTok. I mean, this is divinely timed. It's time now, Gemini, to do this. It is time to do this. And seeing the Magician in reverse tells me that you know it's time, but you're finding ways to manipulate things so that you can continue to pursue the status quo, even though you know the status quo isn't serving you. This is a fear reaction. This is a response that comes from being afraid to move forward. Let's see, 2 of Wands. There's the Ace of Cups. You're needing some more self-care because you're on this path here, about to make a choice, but you need to infuse that choice with self-love. And that may sound cheesy and that may sound hokey, but honestly, if you can give yourself that unconditional love and that unconditional support and compassion and empathy, you won't hesitate with this choice. You won't. You'll know I have to do this for me. I have to do this for myself. I owe it to myself to live the life that I was meant to live. I know. It may sound super cheesy, but I feel it and I gotta say it because that's where this reading is taking you, Gemini, and the cards are just flying all over the place. Let me shuffle again here. Okay, let's look at that 2 of Cups. Yeah, you got to walk away from something that you can't sort of continue to deny. It's time, Gemini. You know, you're going to be okay. I feel like you might need to hear that this is going to work. This is going to be okay. You just have to devote yourself to something that speaks to you as a truth about what you want to do. Don't deny it anymore. You know, you can't deny it anymore, Gemini. Let's look at that Fool card. Yep. See, 5 of Pentacles in reverse landing on the Fool, which says to me that there's no reason to keep feeling like you're suffering losses if you pursue something new. Seeing the 5 of Pentacles in reverse is a wonderful message because it's really one to say there are no losses for you anymore. You're going to find success here, but you have to choose it. I think that's because there's lots of cards that would indicate success. And I think we're seeing 5 of Pentacles because these poor guys are outside by choice. They don't want to go in the church. They are too proud or they feel like they're going to get rejected. But that warm church is right there. You can see through the stained glass window that church is warm and there might be food and a nice warm bed in there. But they're choosing to stay outside because of fear, of pride, of just not wanting to reject the status quo of their lives. But you know, it's really a time where you can turn this around. That's how I see the 5 of Pentacles. And bottom of the deck, we see the Emperor. So that tells me whatever it is that you want to do, you're going to be doing it sort of independently. You're going to be the leader. You're not going to be answering to people in the sense of like, you'll be the one in charge, which might be very different. You know, this could be a situation where someone wants to, leave their 9 to 5 and open a business. And yet they are sort of not listening to the signs to do that. They're making up excuses about why it won't be successful. They're not able to sort of trust that they can do this on their own. And they're using logic as an excuse to not do this. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading. I hope it's been helpful. If it's resonated with you, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting. If you would like your own reading, please look in the description below for the information for personal readings. And as always, I'm sending you so much love and light, my friends. Looking forward to reading for you again soon. Take care.